Hey folks, Elaine Marolakos Edelson here with AstrologyMojo. Want to help you get your mojo back. It is August 31st, 2023, and we are experiencing the second full moon in a month, and typically that's called a blue moon. Now, there's going to be, let's call it, well, first of all, come say hello to me. And I'm going to do a little angel tuning fork clearing. Plus, there'll be 3 cards, but then I'll pull a 4th card for clarity on all the cards. So you can choose for your sun sign, your rising sign, your moon sign, for a specific issue, for how you feel, for what to do about that job, however. But I want you to understand that whether we're talking about astrology, and we'll look at the chart as well. Whether we're talking about astrology and the planets don't do anything to you, the moon and the sun are not planets, and there's an integral relationship to humanity, ebb and flow, tides, and expression and feeling and intuition. This without the sun, we'd freeze. Without the moon, we would tumble out of orbit and drown in tsunamis. So we feel it. Hey, Sage is here. Will you give us some sage advice? So here are the choices for today. Who wanted to come and play? Of course, it's a full moon. So, let me get rid of this. We'll talk about the chart in a little bit. But let's focus on the oracle reading right now. So Faeries, hey, Teresa's here. Faeries, Brian Froud does the artwork, and Jessica Macbeth does the writing and the typeface. I don't know who chose it. It's very hard to read, so I'm going to have to use the book because sometimes I can't even read what I'm looking at. That's card number 1. Remember, you can choose all 3, just one, whatever. But it's not the card that is giving you insights. It's your higher inner self that is guiding you, right? So you're the one picking. You're the one choosing. The second is the secret language of light. Transmissions from your soul, Denise Jarvie. Star was beautiful seeing. Yes. And I took a picture of it. It came out kind of blurry, but I put it on Instagram. And then I tried this morning to take a picture of Saturn. My phone just wouldn't, even in pro mode, wouldn't go there. But I got something. But anyway, next time we're going to have to get a telescope. That's what we're going to have to do. So secret language of light is deck number 2. And then the third one is going to be the Enchanted map, Colette Baron-Reid. So again, once more, Brian Froud and Jessica Macbeth, the Fairy Oracle. That's the first choice, and you can pick all 3, designate them to a specific issue in your life, your sun, rising, and moon, whatever. Okay, choice number 2, the secret language of light, transmissions from your soul with Denise Jarvie. And the third will be the Enchanted map, Colette Baron-Reid. And I also am going to pull one of Yasmin Boland's moon cards for clarity on all 3 for each one. So come say hello. And even if you're watching this in a replay, comment, share, like, subscribe. It really does help the algorithms, and people can benefit more by what we're doing here. And I'm here to help. So I just want to do a little clearing. I used other tuning forks, another video and another show, and you couldn't even hear them, but I could. So I'll use these. These are pretty loud, and because they're very high pitched at 4096 and 4225. They're angel tuners. Just take a nice deep breath. I just want you to tune into the present moment. That's all there is, really. Okay, I want you to just get calm and think about your issue while I pull. We're going to start with deck number 1 for those of you who are interested in the Fairy Oracle. savitu verenam Bargo devasya dima Dio yona prachodaya. Ooh. Okay, I'm pulling 2 cards. These little rascally fairies. Okay. And this is perfect, actually, but I am going to pull a second card on the fairies. Yes. Okay. Oh, I love that. Okay, so if you chose the Fairy Oracle deck, what I pulled was the blank card. Now, the blank card in this deck advises that you meditate to tune in to the energy that is helping you the most, and that is your higher inner being. So tune in to this vibration that is you. That's why it's blank. And you may already have a guide, a team in spirit, whomever you work with in energy. Or maybe it's brand new to you. And meditating on this will help you to tune in even more to your fairy guide or your team in spirit, passed on loved one. I mean, whomever. Higher inner being is where you're going. And to do that, it's really important to get quiet, turn off all your technology, because you're at a juncture right now if you chose this oracle. And the second card that came out, and I know this card well, and maybe that's why I was prompted to do a little chant with the Gayatri mantra, and that is the Singers of Courage came out to assist you. Isn't that just stunning? I mean, this is what matrices of light look like all around us and that emanate from us as well. And this is about moving past subliminal fear. If you chose this deck, and, you know, right out of the gate, we go for the highest card possible. And I think if you look back to, okay, we have a number. If you're into numerology, we've got a number and it's number 8. I want you to look back to when you were approximately ages 4 to 8 and what was impressed upon you about the physical material world, because there's something inside of you that says, oh, I didn't know it was going to be like that, but you actually did. But being that age range, 4 to 8, it's not an easy place because you are present tense in so many moments. And so I ask a lot of people too, what was it like for you when you were 8 years old? And people don't have memories of being 8. They remember 9. Well, I remember, 3rd and 4th grade, whatever, but they have trouble remembering 4 to 8 sometimes. And if you were to tune in and do a little chanting or use tuning forks, or if you are familiar with Deva Premal, you can do one of her chants or just listen to it, or any of the solfeggio frequencies. Just go to YouTube and you'll be able to get there. Now, in a full moon, especially a Pisces full moon, we're feeling a lot more sensitive, but very much on course with, I feel like I got to clean up. I got to clean up something. It's the pantry, it's my clothes, it's, my desk. I want to finish a project. Full moons represent completion. So you might feel this urge to, I got to go back. And I don't mean going back into therapy for weeks at a time. But to touch on just a little writing in Pisces, or do some artwork, or listen to some music, or go into your memory box and pull out, oh gosh, look at me. I was so little when I was 5, 4 to 8, ages 4 to 8. And my ear is tickling me. So it's like, it's about transcending your fears to find your courage. And so between 4 and 8, you may not have had it, or have known what to do with it. So if you can be in a moment of, okay, I am not that person anymore. That's how I was. But we don't want to get stuck in a narrative like, when I was 4, they did this to me, or we moved and I lost all my friends, or my grandma passed and I was so sad. Okay, we're going to remember these things, but we're not going to stay there. You're the adult now. Your higher inner being is saying you're the one with the answers. So you can get clarity by being prompted. Counselor, energy work, a massage, automatic writing, have a pen in both hands, and the dominant hand, whichever you write with, it is is gonna tune in. Hi, how old are you? And the left hand is gonna answer, I'm 6. Well, how are you feeling today? And what do you want to be called? Maybe they had a nickname. Maybe you had a nickname when you were that age. And how are you feeling? Says the dominant hand. Non-dominant hand says, I don't know. I'm feeling excited but nervous. Oh, tell me why. And then you start this dialogue that helps you to, really dig deep into why the ages 4 to 8 were so prevalent and are still prevalent in you when it comes to overcoming something, a fear, and really ready to move forward. If you're ready to move forward, you've got this going for you. So, and 8 also is big business, money, understanding. If you turn 8 on its side, it is the infinity symbol. And so you've worked really hard. If you chose the fairy deck, you've worked really hard. It's time to really tune in now. Put all the distractions aside and turn off the technology and go in. And when you do, it's going to help you. It's going to help you to get clear on something. And you may not actually work it out intellectually. It should just be a feeling. And you go, oh, I feel so much better. Or I have clarity now, or I feel stronger. Because the whole point is being courageous in your spirit, because everyone's come here to create, period, to create their own reality. So this is saying, get a move on, little doggy. So I'm going to pull a clarifying card with the moon cards, since we're in a full moon. Hope this is helpful. Let me know. Come say hello. And whether it's live, you're watching me live, or in a replay on Facebook or YouTube, please let me know if this has helped you and how it might have helped you. All right, a little clarity on this one. So the clarity for that is to show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. And my husband has a full moon in Aquarius. And honestly, I've had so many people in my life with a full moon in Aquarius. I'm a Leo moon. So I understand that I attract the opposite so that I can learn how to be brave. My husband was knocking on doors at ages 7. Hey, would you like to buy these greeting cards? I mean, like, he was he was out there promoting things. He still does. He's a marketer and he loves it. He wants to see the solution. He's looking for the solution. So if you have chosen deck number 1, the Fairy Oracle, tune into your higher inner self You're going to create the picture, and you may see actually introduce yourself or be introduced to what it feels like to be connected and to hear your higher inner being, and then hear the song, your soul's song, and find your courage and go back to the ages between 4 and 8 and determine that maybe that was the real you when someone told you to stop talking or stop singing or hush or be quiet, and you took it to heart. So now it's time to show the world the real you. I like that. Oh, what is that? Who's talking to me? It feels like somebody's whispering in my ear. Okay. That was deck numero uno. And now we're going to move on to the secret language of light. Transmissions from Your Soul by Denise Jarvie. And the illustrations are just beautiful. Hang on. Who did the illustrations? I don't remember. I'm looking. Maybe she did both, but I thought there was an illustrator. Okay, anyway, moving on. Yes, Star says I can follow you on YouTube. Will it also be Astrology Mojo? Yes, and yeah, Astrology Mojo. And if you're not on my my newsletter, I know I've been saying that we're transferring all our data to a new platform. We're in the process. It's because we have a lot of material, and so you can go to my Astrology Mojo website now, currently, which is going to be transferred, and you can just sign up for the newsletter, and you'll be put on my list, and then you'll get an email when I send out my emails and be notified of whatever's. I've been talking about Mercury in retrograde lately. We just did a promotion for the Lionsgate. I'll do another promotion for the eclipses. Look for that coming up in a few weeks. Okay. Oh, Sage says, I remember throwing away all my dolls at age 8 because I felt like I needed to be grown. Right? Something kicks in intellectually. By the age of 7, average within a year, most people leave the, and it's not a negative, self-centered, because when you're a child, you're in the present moment. So it's like the world revolves around you because you're developing an ego, which is an assistant. It's not negative. It's helping you to remind you to stay safe, to eat, to, drink water, to get things done, whatever's on your list. And so around that time, you make a mental jump psychologically. And that's when you can start to understand the otherness of the other, says Goethe. All right, we're moving on. The secret language of light. If you chose deck numero dos, they are so big, they're falling out of my hands. I have to find a different way to mix them up. Here we go. All right, for those who chose deck number 2, we have, again, 2. Okay, I've never pulled this one. It came out second. I don't even know what it means. It looks Italian. Okay, but we'll start with this. Divine Animals, number 22. Divine Animals, well, first of all, if you have pets, it's quite literal. I'm going to go to the book, but Divine Animals is also learning from the creatures around you. Now, a lot of times I'll be talking to myself, walking on a hike or something, and I'll see something. And we're in Sedona, so I see a lot of little baby lizards, or, I've seen a lot of animals. I've seen coyote and bobcats and mountain lions and birds. And so it's sometimes I will take my cue from the creatures around me. Hummingbirds will come to my window when I'm working or meditating, and they just hover. And it astonishes me. Now I go outside and say, is there a reflection? What are they seeing? There's nothing because I don't have a light on. But I want you to take your cue right now from a soul companion. If you have a pet, or be observant right now during this time. Let's see what it says. We all create different containers for our soul experiences depending on our individual desires and dreams. Humans experience greater contrast than animals because humans have an ego sense. Animals are very clever, but they're also very present. And it would be comparable to a human being autistic, because that's how sensitive an autistic individual is. That's how Temple Grandin helped to work with the beef industry to reduce trauma to cattle who are about to be slaughtered or milked. And she actually got into the pen with them and saw what they were seeing. And she said, they don't see the black spaces between the gratings. So that's why they stop. That's why there's gratings out here in our country where we are, because we have cattle crossings because cattle can't see the spaces between the bars. So they stop so they won't cross over. Things like that. So she saw that. She was tuned in. So not to say you have autism traits, but you're highly intuitive, especially if you're tuning into animals. So when we are around animals, it says, it is easier to move into alignment where we can be inspired to grander creations. People often believe they received unconditional love from an animal, as an animal is more likely to be aligned with its soul instinct and doesn't need you to be different to who you are to feel loved. When you emulate this behavior for yourself, life becomes more relaxed, loving in your relationships, and you'll be catapulted to a new level of joy. So the divine animal card is, if you don't have a pet and you're thinking, what, am I supposed to go out and get a pet? No. Tune into a sensitive nature. Tune into nature and start to notice, even if it's a tiny little beetle that crosses your path and you can just observe it instead of reacting, like, ew, spiders, or, oh my God, cicada wasps. It's just like stay present. And literally the creature that's coming near is, or you might have a dream, we're still in the full moon energy. You might have a dream about an animal, and you might actually tune into a part of you that feels, oh, you know what? I think I'm turned on by totems right now. What does that mean? Now, instead of going to a dream journal, or looking it up online, do a little journaling for yourself and ask yourself, as if you were from another planet. And let's say you dream about a tortoise or something. And you want to go right to the dream journal or online and go, meaning of tortoise. Let's access your own dictionary, your own psyche's dictionary, because that's going to be the direct route to the meaning. And so you would ask yourself on paper, as if you were from another planet, I don't know what a tortoise is. And you're like, okay, well, it's got a shell, it stays protected, has its own home, it's whatever it is to you. As you write about it, you're going to start revealing that subconscious, oh, wow. Oh my gosh, I just tuned into that energy, or I know my definition and it tells me something. So let's move on to the second card. Vesica Pisces, looks like Pisces, but I don't know. It looks very Roman or Italian. You see what I mean? Is that Pisces? We talking about the full moon in Pisces? That looks like infinity with a heart at the center. What number? 26. That's an 8. So here's a 22, which equals a 4. And 22 is mastery. And mastery is with the divine animals is more about you tuning into empathy for self and intuition and get out of your head. You process using your head, but 22 comes from a 4. 4 is like you roll up your sleeves, got to get the job done. Let's move all the boxes into the room and start organizing. And then the 22 comes in and says, oh, honey, there are no boxes. It's just wherever you want to put it, whatever makes most sense. And a 22 energy delegates, asks for help. So now let's move on to the 26 card. 26. Never pulled this one. Creating soul truth in the world. The outside world feels more real than the inner world because we have been encouraged to focus more on what is outside of us. That's very true. We have learned to give things that can be seen by others or touched by us more importance than what we feel. And animals are always in the feeling state. They are always in the feeling state. And they're that sensitive to noise, to smell, to sounds, to vibrations. They feel you coming before you get there. When our internal and external realities are integrated, decisions are clear and easily made. This leads to satisfaction and as there is no resistance to your fulfillment. When we scan the myriad possibilities open to us in the manifested world, we'll know what we want and what will not feel overwhelming. In this space, we become grateful for the decisions we've made and all the ones that we're about to make in the future. So this is a higher minded type of reading for those of you who picked number 2. And it's not just, oh, I have a pet and I tune in and, I give her treats and we're so great together, or she knows when it's time to eat, or she alerted me to danger. I think we're going to go beyond that with this reading, and we're going to go to understanding that when you tune into your internal empathetic state, your energy, and knowing that I have to look this up online. I've never heard of Vesica. I want to know how to pronounce it. So let's see. Vesica Pisces. Meaning. Okay, it is the actual shape. 2 lenses come together, a mathematical shape formed by intersection of 2 discs with the same radius, intersecting in such a way. Okay, so it's bringing the extremes together, but understanding the periphery of each side and creating the center. It creates the center. That is pretty darn cool, huh? So there it is. And you're bringing the halves together. So when you do that, you're going to access that nature in you that is brilliant, that can move forward with ideas where once you might have been, okay, this person, thanks for showing up, but now I'm going to delete you and block you because that's inappropriate what you're doing. There we go. Okay, so if you picked number 2 and it's a 26, a 2 is empathy, and 6 is family and community. Add them together, you get an 8, and an 8 is higher-minded understanding because you're moving toward the 9, and the 9 is humanitarian efforts. So an 8, you help other people. 8 is you have a skill, you teach others instead of doing it for them. 8 is thinking about how to invest your energy and your financial investments for a greater future. It's not just living off the cuff. And it's using that divine animal energy, and I'm going to pull a clarifier as well, but it's using that divine animal energy that helps you to tune into what's true for you. How many times, if you chose deck number 2, how many times have you had an instinct about something and someone said, no, the data, and they open up the scroll of information and the data is here and it tells you this and no, you'll be fine. But your gut is saying, okay, but I don't know. So now it's time to really trust your intuition and feel what you're feeling. And if you get, like I get sad ahead of events because I already feel the vibration. It takes a while for things to become matter. So, or for you to, I can see illness in an aura and then it's like, oh, before it lands in the most vulnerable place in your body, let's eat better, work out more, or go to have something checked out or whatever. So I want you to be really present with how you're feeling, deck number 2. Okay. And I'm going to delete this person. And if somebody is writing to you right now in the chat and they're asking, telling you to come get a reading, please do not respond to them because then that's more I have to delete. We're just going to ignore that. All right, so let's pull a clarifier. Teresa says, number 2 makes perfect sense to me. Higher vibration, what positive cards? Yeah, they're really beautiful cards. Okay, let's pull a clarifier on that one. Or clarity for more depth. Or an addendum. For number 2. Another lion. Come on. Confidence is key to for your success. So it's time to understand, okay, this is it. It says new moon in Leo, but we're not there yet. But it is a lion. Confidence is your key to success. So, okay, I mean, hello, McFly. Okay. Divine animals. And let's just talk for a second about a lion. The energy of Leo is very large. It can be, when wounded, it can sound the loudest and be the neediest. But when it has a community to care for, it is protective. Even though in the wild, an actual lion could eat his own young. We're not going to go there, but this is more about being intuitive like a Leo or any other animal, as we discussed already, to find that center place where the two halves come together. Accept both sides of who you are, but in the center is the heart of the matter. And the heart of the matter is you are pure conscious love. And pure conscious love is able to fly energetically anywhere and do anything with courage without being told you can't do that. This is pioneer energy, but you have to tune in first. And do these have numbers? No, they don't. So, all right, I hope that was helpful for you, deck number 2. Now we're going to move on to deck number 3, and that is the Enchanted map. Right there. If you're just tuning in, excuse me, if you're just tuning in. Hi, Ashley. I am doing well. I hope you are too. Thank you for being here, folks. And I really appreciate you passing things along, sharing, liking, subscribing, all that stuff, commenting. It does help. And all right, if you chose deck number 3. Okay. Who chose deck number 3? Because I feel like I want to cry. Who is feeling like they're stuck in a room without a door? Who? All right. If you're not coming forward, or maybe it's someone who's about to, who's watching but not commenting, or if it's someone who's going to watch me in a replay, listen up. You're not stuck. Only if you say you are. There's a difference between relief and gratitude. Relief is just made it, which means you don't trust. It's like flying by the seat of your pants. Gratitude is knowing ahead of time. I, I, I have everything I need. I have everything I need. Oh, because I'm home. I love this. I want to live there. I am home. I am home in my body, in my mind, in my spirit. Oh my gosh, what's that? Is that an owl? There's an owl in the tree. There's a clock. There's a fox. There's like a little castle in the wood. Oh my gosh, I love this card. There's mushrooms. I have to get like a magnifying glass. I think I need more vitamin A and D. Okay, look at that. You are homes 27-9. Okay, so you're coming to an ending. If you picked deck number 3, a 2 is empathy. It's me and them. Got to work it out. Got to feel it. Got to express it. Got to listen. So it's the 2 halves, right? 7 is internal. It's reflective. It's research. It's quiet time. It's not pushing out into the world because the world will push right back. It's about knowing who you are. It's the lone wolf. But a 27 is a 9, and a 9 is the ending before the beginnings. And so if a person here with me now has chosen the 3rd deck, then I want you to really contemplate your posture whenever you're about to do something. If you tense, if you sag, if you're like, it's just sitting there reading an article in a magazine and you realize that, like you're crooked and your back is hurting, what are you holding that needs to be released? Because when you come home, and literally it's aum, A-U-M, it is the beginning, the middle, and the end, and the silence from which all things come again. And you are creating your home, your own, like small h, capital O-M. It's technically A-U-M, but O-M, small e. And your Om is your moment. It is the moment that you choose to feel or think. Now, with this card, you have to keep in mind you have biology. If you chose deck number 3, you have to take care of your biology. You need to eat when you're hungry, and I mean healthy food. And healthy is not just what someone says is healthy, it's healthy for your body. And I want you to do it intuitively. So when you walk up to something at a supermarket or you're in the pantry and you're like, oh, I could go for that bag of chips. If that's the immediate urge, then stop and pull back and open up the refrigerator and just start scanning. And it's like, and if you feel mildly repulsed by anything, it's fine. It doesn't mean it's unhealthy. It just means it's not what your body needs in that moment. So then tune to the next thing. Oh, there's eggs, or there's dairy or non-dairy, or there's, the fruit salad or whatever is in there, parsley or lettuce. I want you to just tune in individually and feel it. Okay. Because when you do that, you're going to come to a place of centeredness, and suddenly you're going to feel lighter because you've taken your mind off of, I feel trapped in a thing, and I'm at home in my body and in my mind because my soul has chosen to become, you're an aspect. This is a physical form. So you're an extension of light. You're an extension of the light. Now, you may feel like, oh, it doesn't feel at home here in my body. Well, then we're going to make it feel at home. No, we're not going to force anything. We're not going to force fit you. We're going to look at this picture and go, oh, I love magical. How about you? I'm going to find that special magical place and I am going to be there and set up a sanctuary, even if it's, a corner of your bedroom. One place where you go to read or to meditate or to contemplate or to journal. All right, there's another one that wanted to come and I was waiting on that. Oh, okay. This is what made me want to cry. My finger was on it, but I didn't know which one it was. Again, a 9. Okay, encouragement. Come on. And if you're a parent, a new parent, a grandparent, or you're nurturing family and maybe they're ill, maybe they're just little, and that's where you are, just got to be there. So the encouragement is every moment you can take for yourself is an ending of the old way so that you can be present in the now. When I tried to fight being a mom, and I loved being a mom, but it was like I also wanted to do my work. And when my kid, who is now 24, would come in, and they were not a sleeper. They did not sleep. I need to sleep. So they would come in, and I would be like all over the place, and I would be trying to write a newsletter or something, or do a chart for someone. And my kid would come in and go, "Can we play now?" And I'd be like, "Oh my God." Oh. And I made a decision based on a comment that a whole concept that my husband and I had, Dean, when we decided to have a baby. And I was 39 when I gave birth. So when we decided to have a baby, I said, I don't want to just have a baby to have a baby. I want to raise a conscious human being. My husband said, absolutely. And I said, and I need a partner who's going to help me do that. And he said, absolutely. So we chose to both work at home so we could trade off. Now, in the first couple of years, it was kind of rough because he was just starting out at something new, and it consumed his time. And so it was me, for 15 hours a day with a kid who wouldn't sleep or nap. And I lost my mind, and I had postpartum, but I didn't know I had postpartum because Elaine's so capable. She's just, she can handle it. So when it finally occurred to me, when a friend sent me an article and she said, these are the definitions of postpartum. And I read them. I was like, check, 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 check. Okay, let me turn that around. I am not in my body. I need to be in my body and then teach my kid to be in their body. So we organized little sections of the day for rest, for play, for separate time, for together time. And so this is how we worked it. My kid is now teaching. They're an artist, but they're a digital artist, but they're also teaching preschool. It's a private preschool. And they called me up last year and they said to me, Mom, I don't know how you did it, but thank you. You're the best mom ever. Drop the mic. And it's like, I learned so much from you that I'm applying it to these kids now, and they're a natural at it. So can you tell me how not to be overwhelmed at the end of the day? I was like, you have other teachers, ask for help. But you got a double 9. Okay. So whether you're a parent or not, you are needing to nurture your inner child. And no wonder I wanted to cry, because I'm giving you a hug right now, because you are at home when you're in the present moment. You're at home when you're in the present moment. And that present moment is also a place where you can play. And this is what I did. I just said to myself, okay, I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to go mostly a year with just being with my kid. I did that the first 2 years. I just was with my kid. But then in the third year, I thought, I'm going to work this out week by week, day by day. So what I did was I got on the floor and I played, and I had so much fun. And I thought, there's a kid in me who wasn't able, we didn't have a lot of money. We lived in a railroad apartment. I was not able to have a dollhouse. Well, not only did our kid have a dollhouse, and it was 3 stories with the people to go with it, we had a farm. We had a little van to go on vacation. We had little people. Who remembers little people? And we had a schoolhouse. We had I forget what else we had, but I still got some of the stuff in the shed. And we played, and that's how I decided to teach, was through play, because the little kid in me got to play like never before. And then my kid learned the rules of I would say engagement, the rules of, and I would say every person has their own space and they need their own place. So sometimes we need alone time. So if you pulled this, and regardless, again, if you have kids or grandkids, whatever, if you are caring for your inner child or an actual person, or you're a teacher, or you are looking to create a home environment that feels like a sanctuary, this is the time to stop the lamenting. See the 5 in the 4 equals a 9, but the 4 breaks down to a 22. You got to ask for help. It's not like, oh, well, it's just what it is. Just like put the diapers in a basket on the floor and bring other kids over. Why not? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I could start at like a little preschool. There's a business idea. That would be me and my husband thinking up ideas. But the 5 sits on a rocker. 5 goes back, thinks about the past, goes back. I need some alone time. I'm contemplating something. Something's brewing. 5 goes back. And then once you're ready, you shoot out of the chair and you're moving forward. 5 is also play. Play and nurture. I hope this is helping if you pick deck number 3. But also in that space that you are finding yourself again. You have to find your rhythm with 2 double 9s. Well, that was redundant. With double 9s and being at home, making your sanctuary, and the encouragement that you're going to get from other people comes from you asking for help. I just need, a friend, when I was out of my mind, sleep deprived, a friend called me and she said, why don't we come over and you take an hour nap? And at first I was like, oh no, that's okay. You live like 25 minutes away, whatever. And then my husband walked in the door and he's like, all right, I came home for lunch. Why don't you go lie down? And I was like, no, I got it. And he looked at me and he goes, allow. He goes, you need the help. You can't do it all. And I was like, okay, you're right. You're right. And I was so resistant to it. So please, let's not be resistant. Deck number 3. Miss Annie, thank you, Elaine. Grateful for your messages. Card number 3. Okay, good. I hope it's helped. Okay, and let's pull like another one on these double 9s. And if this is about business and you're setting up an at-home business, I want you to talk to someone who, why is this crooked? I want you to talk to someone who can support you, a friend, a family member, maybe a coworker, contemporary, someone in your industry or field, or in your field, your auric field, and say, can we just go out and have a cup of tea and let's not talk about anything? So allow that to come your way, because you'll get great information about great information about what you're about to create. And first quarter moon, your commitment is being tested. So we have double 9s. And what are you committed to? To yourself, number 1, and then to the endings, creating a home environment and asking for help. Your commitment is being tested, but not by anyone but yourself. And if you don't want to do something, deck number 3, don't do it. Now, of course, if you have to take care of your grandmother and she can't get out of the chair, okay, but ask for help. If you are thinking, oh, I was supposed to do laundry yesterday and clean out the closets, okay, stop. Why? Is it imperative? Is the house burning down? No. Moon in Pisces, intuitive. Understanding that you suffer from some illusions that either you have to do it all or that you can't tell anyone how you feel because it's too much. Oh, they're going through a lot. They stub their toe. Tell them you feel like crying and cry. So it's okay to be vulnerable. Remember, you're creating a sanctuary with support around you, wisdom, intuition. Oh, is that a fate? I actually need a magnifying glass. It looks like a little elf. Anyway, I'm getting lost. I'm getting lost in this card. So as you are, and I don't like the word tested, as you are giving yourself an opportunity to change in the moment, be present. Be present. And then you can unwrap the gift called you. So I didn't tune in much, but thank you for being here, Star. My posture is terrible. Never realized that there was more to it. If your posture is terrible, you're craning. If you're craning, you're not breathing. And if you're not breathing, you're creating anxiety and cortisol. Just pull your chin down. That's it. Just pull your chin down. Because if your posture is terrible, you're slumping and you're craning. So and you'll straighten right up. Ashley, hi. Let's see. Teresa, who else? Star, terrible anxiety. So we alter the posture, research what nutrients you might be lacking. Now, if you have anxiety, and I'm not a doctor, I'm working on energy only, but I research health all the time. And I have found that people who are low in vitamin D, D3, K2, have more anxiety, and you can research that, and or are low in potassium and magnesium, but you want to research the right kinds of things to take. Anything that says citrate at the end, you'll be in the bathroom every 20 minutes and it doesn't really absorb. So magnesium glycinate or threonate are the best types of magnesium to take. You could soak your feet as well in Epsom salts, and you can absorb magnesium that way. It helps to reduce things. I mean, there's so many things that you can do to be as present as possible. A lot of times anxiety, when I have it, it tells me that I'm forgetting something. Like I'm forgetting to breathe. I'm forgetting to eat. I'm forgetting to sit down when my back hurts. I'm forgetting that I have a client and I haven't done the chart. And it's like, if I'm swirling and it's like, oh, okay, I just need to be present. Just be present. All right. So be as present as possible. Take care of yourself. Love that you are love. Love that you are love. You're not just a random person like hanging out separate from everybody else. You're an extension of the light, the whole, WHOLE. You're a celestial, eternal, sentient being. And my friends, I thank you for being here. I'm sending you much love during this Pisces energy. I'm going to post in Facebook or in my newsletter as well. I'll send out an email when I will be present for you next, because we are working toward a launch toward my webinar for my Astrology Pro accelerator training program. And I have to go over the calendar. I'll let you guys know. I'm pretty sure I'm back on Thursday. Oh, no, I'm not. It's Friday the 8th. I'll be back Friday the 8th at 9:30, just to let you know. And then from there, I'll create my next schedule for September, so that you'll know if I'll be here on a Thursday or a Friday. Okay. So be well in the meantime. As always, I wish you peace. See you next time.